If you want the best bow in the game, it's going to be from an Oblivion gate. I'm going to tell you how to get here, and I'm going to tell you that you can get multiple versions of this bow. Now, the first thing you have to do is find your way into a gate. Now, while I'm using this gate here, there is a scripted gate you can go to. It'll be south of this city while doing the main quest, but in a non-static gate, what you can do is save outside of the gate before you enter it for the first time, enter the gate, and if you are facing south with 3 towers, you are in the correct world. That is how you identify the world. So once you have identified the gate, the next step is to find the actual reward we're wanting, and it's going to be back this way, actually, behind where we entered. You might get lost a little bit, so, you know, make sure you save once you get in. By the way, if you're wanting these arrows, which that damage is basically all the enchantment, make sure you check out my video on it. Don't want to fall in the lava if you can help it. I've got health, so I don't care. And what we're going to do is we're going to make our way back. I'll be honest, my room, I don't know what it is. This game makes my GPU go wild. My room feels like I'm in the Oblivion Gate. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. And eventually back here, you're going to find this, the door to the Fume Vault, and you're going to go inside. Alright, so once we are inside, we are going to head through. Trying to remember the path. There's multiple ways you can go. Of course, you're probably going to want to fully explore. But we are looking for the door out. By the way, the arrows I normally use the lightning. You can always get yourself some of the fire arrows, and they'll actually do this effect. I'm just going to switch to something that... These will work. I'm using a lightning bow right now as well, because I'm waiting to get this bow. Alright, and here we go. Here are our door to the Embers of Hatred. Alright, we beat both of these guys. You can check out their stuff if you'd like, but we're gonna need, you can get some field arrows, barbed arrows, but we want the second key of Dark Hate and the first key of Dark Hate. We open the door. It's only been about 19, 20 years since I did this, so... There we go, second key. We take this portal. And inside of the Forbidden... we have Hatred Soul, and you also get some Hatred Soul arrows with life tap. These are really good arrows. Take a look at them now. So if we take a look at these, this is going to be this is a leveled bow. So here is where things get important. The big reason I stress that you can do multiple Oblivion Gates is as long as Oblivion Gates are still opening in your game, you can force this bow to come out as long as you have like gates that aren't static, right? This bow is really good, especially at the highest level. Take a look. We are talking about 35 fire damage on strike, plus drain speed 30 points for 45 seconds. Now, the arrows are 21 base damage, 15 seconds soul trap. The reason I don't say these are the best arrows is if we take a look here, these are Storm Call arrows that do 30 points of lightning damage in an AoE for 2 seconds. That is way better damage-wise to the elemental damage versus the 21 of the Hate's soul arrow. But if you're doing anything, you're filling some soul gems, you can always duplicate these, or if you're playing a non-glitch playthrough, you can keep these as backup. Run every free Oblivion gate as this exact gate if you'd like to get yourself a whole bunch of these. Now, I will say, there is, also here's what they look like on your back, pretty cool. There is something else you get here. Not the focus of the video, but obviously you take it. This is Hatred's Heart. Now, Hatred's Heart is a really good melee weapon. One of the best, I would say. It is fire damage on strike and drain speed, so it has the fire effect. Now, a lot of people that are doing melee like to use, like, Umbra, stuff like that. But this exists, right? This is pretty good. It is leveled again, so it is something you would want to get later for these really good stats. I'm high enough level. I think it's level 19 plus gets you the best on these. Hatred's Heart is definitely, I would say, a melee weapon you want in your repertoire. It's just nice to have. They can't, draining the speed, the fire damage. It's really good. Base damage is kind of meh. Weight kind of sucks, but I think it's okay. So hopefully you found this useful. And as I said, this is a repeatable thing. You can do this as long as you force this Oblivion Gate. And you have that guarantee of this at least once. It's kind of hidden. So I wouldn't be surprised if you aren't following a guide that you completely missed access to. My focus is this bow. I think this bow is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, even if we just add these arrows, we're talking a base damage that is absolutely crazy. And then you have the fire damage, and then swap these arrows out for something like this. So now I'm doing shock, and I'm doing fire, and my lightning's in an AoE. I mean, and we're draining speed. It is like a match made in heaven. Now, I will say that I hope the guide was clear enough. Definitely save once you've made it into the world in case you have a lava incident. I believe that in this particular tower, the lava doesn't hurt you in the middle. I'll check that right now. Not that it really would matter, but I need to leave here anyway. I have a bunch of videos on a bunch of different topics, and of course, I'm looking for other stuff to cover. I'm going to go ahead and drop a save here. I think in the original, this fire in this particular one didn't hurt you. I was wrong. But it also looks kind of glitched. I could have sworn the fire didn't hurt you. Maybe I'm just crazy. Why am I dead up here? This is getting really interesting. We found a new glitch. I am so glad I tested this. Let's return to the main menu. I am so glad I tested this because I would feel so bad if people had like jumped in that pit for fun. This might be one of the things we can fix by going to the main menu. Yes. There you go. That is why it's always a benefit. If I have a longer video and I'm ranting a little bit, it is always a benefit to check it out. It is always a benefit to watch because I like to give as much information as I can, and sometimes I find things out on the way out. That's wild. And of course, to leave, I don't think there's a shortcut. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back out the way you came. There is an area somewhere in here, I believe. There is an area in here somewhere, I believe, where there's a flesh pod. I was checking the wiki before I came in. There was a flesh pod that if you go to it, you can get stuck unless you have acrobatics and water walking. So I would avoid that. I would just not go and try to grab that at all. And now we're back out. And if you go, obviously you can get hurt. But if you go and you make your way back, this gate, of course, you don't even have to complete the gate if you're not interested in that. And if you because you didn't have to complete the gate to get this reward. So if you don't want to complete the gate, maybe you already got the sigil you want and you've duped it and you just don't need more. You can just do a run in and get this. At this point, you just find your way out. I think it's right over here. Maybe. Jeez, that is so much damage. Is it dead? Did it die and it doesn't know what to do with it? That's funny. Wow, okay. That's unique. What the hell did I walk into? I have no clue. Oh, it's the speed! The speed must be bugged. Wow! That's so cool. Better than I thought. And I'll go and I'll do another showing of it. I'll teleport to like the main city and hit some guards and... That's really cool. I'm gonna have to remember that speed effect now if I use the bow, which I will. That's why these arrows are so fun.
Someone's been murdered. Help! Murder! I'm just warming up. Help! Someone's been murdered.
Don't know why the slowing effect was so bugged with the Daedra. If you know, let us know in the comments, because if that's exploitable and we can like super slow down our enemies somehow with the bow, I mean, that's another video. That's something else people find really fun. But yeah, hopefully you like the video, you like the content. I don't know why sometimes it doesn't show us with the bow attached. There we go. And of course, I'll show the arrows on the back again. Pretty cool, pretty nice. Yeah, best bow in the game. Highly recommend. I do, again, just at the end, I want to say, I do recommend going and looking up my video on how to get these arrows. There's also really good arrows of multiple other elements, of every other element, because these will crank any bow up. And then this is just kind of icing on the cake if you're dealing with something that's magic immune.